Sadie says, he seems to be fearful, avoiding. His words don't match his actions, in that his actions are committed and loving, but his words are, I don't love you. How do you deal with that? Well, Sadie, let me give you a very important principle that you need to remember in every single one of these situations, like the one that you're in. Here it is. When a man's words and actions do not align, like in this situation, he tells you that he shows you that he's committed and that he's loving, but he's telling you that he doesn't love you or that he doesn't want to commit to you. Here's what you do every single time, right? If his words and actions are different, you want to believe the one that's worse, right? You want to believe the one that you don't want to believe. And in this case, the one that's worse is that he doesn't love you. And so you want to believe that, right? Even if his actions show that he does. And let's talk a little bit about why this is. Because men and women and everybody have needs. We all have needs, right? We have desires. We want to feel connected. We want to feel loved. We want to feel like we're, with somebody. We want to touch each other. We want all these different things. Well, what he's getting right now with you is what it sounds like, is he's getting those needs met without needing to be vulnerable and open himself up and admit that maybe he has these kinds of feelings for you. And a lot of guys, they'll continue to do that for a very, very long time. And if his desire to, not open himself up, not allow himself to commit, not fall in love with you, not do all those things is much, much greater than, his desire to stay in a relationship with you and love you and all that kind of stuff, then when you start pulling yourself away from this situation, which is what I suggest that you do and that you do very quickly, then what will end up happening is nothing will ever make him, say that he loves you, really admit that he loves you, commit to you, get married to you, and do all these things that maybe are things that you actually want. And so you have to remember that in those situations, which is, why we talk about doing it initially and having these conversations initially and talking about these things initially and having guys invest initially and making sure that you're getting into good situations initially, because if he's in that situation, he may or may not, right? If you're like, you know what? That's cool. You don't love me. You're not willing to actually commit to me, verbally, and you're not going to show me to your friends. You're not going to take me to see your family. You're not going to put a ring on my finger. Whatever those things are that are things that you want. If he's not willing to do those things, that's great. You need to pull yourself out of that situation. You can communicate with him and just let him know and be like, look, that's fine. That's fine. I really wanted more with you. However, if you're not willing to do those things, you're not interested in those things, that's fine. Let me know if at some point you are interested in those things. And if I'm still single, maybe we can talk about it. And then walk away from the situation and go find a guy who is going to love you and is going to cherish you and is going to commit to you and is going to tell you that he loves you and have you meet his family and treat you like the queen that you deserve to be treated as, treat you like the goddess that you deserve to be treated as, treat you as if you're sacred. And if he decides that he wants to step up after that point, that's great. And if he decides that he doesn't, that's fine too. But you have to make sure that you get out of a bad situation where you're not being treated the way that you want to be treated.